Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So for today's video I'm going to be making a Memorydex card using the Planners Anon Country Cottage kit. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so for today's video I'm going to be using the very pretty Country Cottage collection from Planners Anon. And I'm going to make a Memorydex card because I haven't made one of these I think this was the last one I made, and it's like, I love it, but damn, I miss making them. So I put up a poll on Instagram to see which collection you guys would most like to see. Did you want to see the bunnies, or did you want to see the florals? Now, when I went to bed, this was a very easily won race going to the bunnies. But since I've woken up, it's gone the other way, and now it's 55:45, and I'm sitting here going, I've been planning for the bunnies. So I'm really sorry. Thank you to everybody who voted, but I'm going to go with the bunnies. I'm sorry. I feel bad going against what you guys want. I think I'm going with the bunnies. I'm really undecided here. I think I know what I'm doing, but this is basically just me having we're just going to craft together and see what we create. So, I'm grabbing the die cuts because I know I want to use the die cuts. I've got this piece of paper because I think this is the piece I want to use. I'm still so in love with that floral though, and I can picture really clearly in my head like a shaker with that floral with either the acetate or the vellum, which I think would look lovely. But I have been very heavily rolling towards the florals of Planners Anon lately, and so I think I need to come over to the bunny side. By the way, like, how cute is, anyway, sorry, I'm being distracted. I do want to just check. I don't think I have the quotes anywhere. I don't think there's anything here that's going to have the quotes, so I think I might have to make the quotes up. If I want to put some words on here, I'm going to have to do that myself. But that's fine. Okay, let's actually get started, because otherwise I'll be here forever. So I know I want basically all of it to come out of this piece of paper. Where did that? I got this one out so that I could measure it, because this is my favourite size of Memorydex. So about 13 centimetres. So I'm going to cut this one to 13, but I want this side. Because I'm going to do the brown on the background, and then I'm going to put the bunnies on the other. So there's our actual card that we're going to work with. I'll obviously punch the bits on there later. And then I'm trying to work out how I want to make this special. So this is the Unique and Creative Slim Lacy Borders die. I want this one. It's got this cute little lacy kind of thing that I thought I'd stick and put at the top. And I'm just trying to decide which colour I want to put with that, because I really don't want the, what's that, the darker brown. Could grab some from up the top here and sort of put that as a different shade of brown, but it is very similar. What else we got? We got blue, got grey, this gorgeous teal colour. Oh, I love this. But then I'm kind of, I don't know, lace to me needs to be white, doesn't it? So let's just try white and see what we get. Just grab my little side kit, and I've gone to my big pile of scrap cardstock, because I keep, basically when I cut my cardstock down, if I don't cut it straight into quarters or straight into halves, I keep most, I don't keep all of it, but I keep most of my offcuts, because I feel like at some point or another I will use them, which this is obviously a good example. Now this, I could get my big one out and it would be a lot easier, but I just don't want to. So just cutting the first little bit, and then I'll just move this along and cut out the next bit. Uh-oh. Alright. And then we're left with this cute little lacy kind of topper. I actually kind of like it that way. We'll work that out when we get there. And then I need to work out where I want these rabbits, how I want these rabbits. Because I'm on the fence. Actually, I'm going to colour that in brown in a minute. Not brown, but I think I want to tear this and have be the, maybe, where's the dies? I need to, the dies. What have we got rabbit-wise? We've got the cute little sitting bunny. Oh, we've got the big bunny. And then we've got the bunny who's fallen over. The bunny who's going to be sitting down, and then the bunny. I like this. I think this one's the right one. So, I really want it to say Shaky Cottontail, but I don't think there's anything in this that has it. I just want to try something. Or just want to check something, and we'll see how we can continue. So I was just having a look in the creative kit and just seeing what quotes were included in that. I still don't... There's Shaky Cottontail here, but it's a bit small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out on the word Fetty. On the word Fetty they've got Hop to It, Hoppy Like a Bunny, Life's Better When Somebody Loves You, and Shaky Cottontail. I'm going to size all of them up to sit here on my Memorydex, and I'm going to print all 4 of them on some vellum. I think vellum's going to be the way that I make this look cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and when I come back I'll be all ready to cut those out. Alright, so I've got my little vellum piece now, and while I was doing that I was sort of starting to think and work out, okay, how am I going to do this? I think what I'm going to do is tear this down the side and then put the bunny on the side and then have the Hoppy Like a Bunny kind of wrapped around. So I deliberately then cut this longer so that I've got the room to be able to sort of pull it around and stick it on the back. So because I know I want about half of this, I'm just going to trim it down again just so that I've got sort of the right amount. Whenever I'm cutting something to the same size, I always cut it just a little bit bigger, because that way I can trim off excess as opposed to, you know, having not quite enough, because I would prefer to have too much than not enough. It's a bit wasteful, but so then I'm going to tear, and I'm going to tear up, and by tearing up you get that white edging to it. It kind of went a bit out of control, but that's okay. And then with this, I'm just going to grab 2 different inks here. This is Brushed Corduroy, which is a distress ink, and Crunchy Leaf, which is a Lawn Fawn ink. They're both inks, so I'm fine to use the same brush. I just want to see what the 2 give me, because I think corduroy is the one I want, but I'm just checking that I'm not wrong. Yeah, no, it's corduroy. So all I want to do is give it this side a slightly brown kind of tinge. I want this to be really light. I don't want anything really heavy, so I'm being so light here, and it's still picking up more than I wanted it to, but that's alright. It's just with the edge. The good thing is I can use this sort of outer edge more than the inner side, and I think it'll be okay. There we go. And then I'm not. I may come back later and just give the edges here a bit of a tinge. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this bit down. Now I like the bottom better than the top. That's just this piece of paper, I just prefer the bottom. So I'm lining the bottom up, and then I'll cut off the excess from the top. Okay. And then because it's just such a little bit, I'm quite comfy to do these with my scissors. And then on the back as well. So for this one, going to grab that bit of cardstock that I used. I'm just putting, no, it's on the front, isn't it? Putting the glue on the front. I'm just trying not to hit the little lacy bits. Then I can line this up on the back. Actually, I will do it that way. Sometimes I go put the thing on the element, and sometimes it's the other way. I'm actually just going to change something up really quickly before I do this. I should have used my trimmer before, and it doesn't look straight, and it's just going to bug me. So I'm just going to fix it. Just means my card's going to be a little bit smaller than it was by about like 1/4 centimetre. But I think that's okay. That's better. Now it's straight. Especially when I'm using elements like the lace kind of thing, I feel like it needs to be straight or it's just not going to look good. So it needed to be straight. And we'll just cut off the excess here. Love that little lace detail. Alright, and then for the sentiments, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these down. I'm going to do all 4. I'm trimming them down so that I've got the line right on the actual size of the quote. So I'm going to get that square. Oops, that one's not straight. I think I'm going to do shaky cottontail, but I might end up with the hoppy little bunny. I haven't decided. This is why you should always try and get it right the first time, because sometimes cutting it the second time's a pain. There you go. No, you're not going to do it. Sometimes with vellum, my trimmer doesn't like me. Doesn't like cutting something so thin off of vellum. I don't know why. So I'm just cutting this by hand. I'm just trying to get rid of the white, and I'm trying to stay as straight as humanly possible. I don't know if that's straight. We'll find out when we put it down. I'm going to do the others. Oh, I'm not going to do the Some Bunny Loves You because I've just got a black ink mark on it. But I'm going to do the others, and I'm going to try my darndest to get the brown. Doing that other way did not do well for me. Okay, so I've got those 2. So I'm just trying to work out where it looks better. So I'm folding this over. I can always just move it later. So you've got that shaky cottontail, and you've got the top, or we've got that hoppy like a bunny. Everywhere I put it, it just kind of looks, it gets lost behind the bunnies. So if it's going to get lost behind the bunnies, I know I want this guy sitting up here. Maybe if I stick it down on here and then do it that way. I definitely like the shaky cottontail. I think that's definitely the way I'm going to go. Alright, so then I'm going to grab this bit, and with the lightest bit here, I'm going to stick down. I'm just going to tack this. You won't see it. It's such a small amount of glue, it's not funny. So I'm just going to, tack that down. Now I just need to make sure then that this is going to be the same width or it's not going to work. Okay. Whoops. Pulling everything onto the desk. No, it's 13. See, this is why I check. This one I won't go any bigger. I'll stay exactly the right one because otherwise. So I'll put that shaky cottontail. I'm just going to have one more try at getting this straight because it's just bugging me. I don't want to print another one. I know I can. I just don't want to print another one. I'm going to take the guard off for a sec just to help me line this up. Because I've got that little bit of glue in the middle there, it's actually going to help me hold this down. So put the guard back on. worked, but anyway. Alright. It's better. Still not good, but it's better. So I'm going to just hold that down there, and then using the sort of extra bits, I can then wrap this around, which will hold it still and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Go. No, hate it. Absolutely hate it. I just hate that one because it's not clean now. It looks messy. So let's go to the Hoppy Like a Bunny instead and do the exact same thing. Whoops, wrong side. I am deliberately leaving just a little bit of room at the top, which I'm going to do with the bottom as well. And that way it'll kind of give it a bit of differentiation, I guess. I am trying to pull this pretty tight because I don't want it to move. Like I said, that tiny little tack that we've got there will keep it mainly in place, but this is the final securing point, I guess. Go. That's better. Maybe a little bit more. I'm having the feeling that today is going to be one of those days where my trimmer doesn't like me very much. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Put that there like that. I'm actually going to do something to hide those edges in a minute. So I'll put the little bunny there, and then there are some little die cuts that look like the cotton. So there's actually two, and they're designed to get folded over, but I'm just going to alter them so that they're two separate ones. Easy enough to do, just cut them apart. And I'm going to put the Hoppy Like a Bunny at that end. No, let's put them at both ends. I think at both ends look better. Yes, okay. So I'm going to put that down. I'm still not quite sure about the vellum. I think it looks a bit odd. And I'm actually going to do something now that's going to make no sense at all, considering... No, I'm not. The vellum's just not quite tight enough on one end. And I don't think I can get in there to pull it. I'm just going to stop playing with it because I feel like I'm going to make it worse. I'm just going to line up that Hoppy Like a Bunny. I do like the way that it kind of has that raised up look. It does look kind of cool. And then we can go ahead and hide the edges by using the cotton flowers. I was going to say, where did my other cotton flower go? And the only thing I've just realised is where where does my punchy thing go? And it probably is going to be right in the middle of just what I did. Just before I punch it, I'm just going to grab that original one that I was measuring, because I just want to use it to see where it's going to sit. And it's not going to hit it, but I am just going to pull this up a little bit if I can. I'm actually going to do two things here. This is where I love being able to pull things up. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to pull up that entire piece. Glue dots. How I love them. And I'm actually going to completely and utterly pull off that folded bit on both sides. I know one end is fine, and I know it's actually, I'm going to leave the one on one end because it's fine. Then I'm going to pull that really tight. And because now that whole thing's going to get hidden, I can put the glue on the front, and that's going to hold that down better. That's better. It's still got that movement, but it just looks a lot more secure. I'm going to go ahead and punch this too now while I've got it free. So I never measure this, I just line it up with my squares and go, yep, that's about the center. Punch. Decapitated a rabbit. And then I can go ahead and put that Hoppy Like a Bunny back in. But I can put it above the line. And if there is anything hanging off the edge, which there is, I can just trim it down. That's better. Then I can put my cotton flowers in. Now the cotton flowers that are hanging just over the edge, I am going to leave them there because I think that looks fine. And because they're not going in something that it's going to get stuck, I'm not particularly worried. But I am going to just grab my little cottontail tool here, which is basically just powder. And I'm just putting that on the back, and that's going to get rid of any of that sticky. So now it won't stick to anything. Okay. And then we've got our little bunny, which I'm going to put down there. I don't know why I'm half considering putting it over there now, but we're not going to. And I'm just thinking, do I want to put him on some foam tape so he sits up a little bit? Yes, I think I do. So now that the PA ones are actually stickers, the release paper's actually got a bit of slide. So when I stick things down on them, so like glue, foam tape, they do have a tendency to come up. So all I'm going to do, same thing I just did there with the small thing, I'm just going to put powder on the back of this, which is going to turn this back into just a regular die cut. It's going to have a little black hair attached to it, but that's okay. I'm just rubbing that all over there, and it's just lost all of its stick. So I don't need to worry about it getting stuck. I don't need to stick it down onto another piece of cardstock and try and cut it around, because I can't do that. It's going to be perfect. No stickiness on that at all. Love it. So I just grabbed some foam. I accidentally got the wrong size of foam the last time I bought some more, but that's okay. I kind of like this big one. So it's just Express It foam, but any kind of foam tape will work. Alright, and then just as a final thing, I didn't think I would, but I'm just going to put just a little bit of ink just down the edges, just to kind of, it's sort of like an antique-y kind of thing. I'm annoyed that I just hit that. I'm not putting it on the cotton flowers if I can avoid it, and I'm just doing it on the left and the right. I don't want to do the bottom. And there we have it. That took a really long time for something that is that simple. But this is my funny little creative process. Sometimes I sort of need to just sit down in front of something and just let my experimenting mind go. I really, really like that torn thing. I like the bunny. The only part about this entire thing I don't like, which I should have planned better, but I didn't, is just the fact that this little guy happens to be sitting exactly where he is. Because he's just kind of, I don't know what the word is. It just feels like he's in the way. And he's just copying what this other one's doing. And I don't want to cover it up because nothing I have here is going to quite work as a cover up. But anyway, if that's the worst of it, I think that's okay. I like making these little simple Memorydexes. They're a lot of fun. If you like Memorydex cards, you need to check out the Weekend Craftaholic. She does cool little 5-minute Memorydex cards, which I just love watching and I get so much inspiration from. She was the one that inspired to do something along the top. She put pom-poms on the last one she did, which I thought was just so cute. So if you do like Memorydex cards, go over and check out her channel. I've obviously got others on my channel too. I'll put the playlist at the bottom so you can go and check it out. If you did enjoy this one, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media so you can vote on my polls, even when I don't listen to you. I hope you have an absolutely awesome rest of your week, and I will catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!